We are back after just a short visa run last week, and we have snow on the top of our mountain. I'm so excited. Yay, we're home.
Hi, Stella.
Okay, hi, Stella. Hi, baby girl. So our neighbor Silvio took great care of Stella while we were gone. So thank you, Silvio. We appreciate it so much. Stella was in good hands.
Claire, are you happy to see Stella again?
Yeah. She's sticking her tongue out at me. Stella's sticking her tongue at us.
So the very first time I saw this property, obviously before we had purchased it, as you walk up and you see the stone house, you see the mountain behind it. And I just knew that once the snow comes and you have that snow-capped mountain, that this property would just look like a postcard. And man, being here after returning from our trip and kind of soaking it in is fantastic.
Oh my goodness, it is so good to be home. I think what I missed the most when we were traveling full time is that feeling you get when you come back and you're home. And today we're getting to experience that, and I just couldn't be happier.
Man, I cannot get over that view. Like, there's no way that we're gonna be able to capture that properly, but it just looks like an absolute postcard with the snow-capped mountains behind us.
I know, it's so beautiful. So we have some really exciting news. This is what feels like years in the making. We've talked about doing this for so long, and now it is finally here. It's finally live.
But first, let me tell you a quick story. About 7 or 8 years ago, we were on the beach on vacation, and I ran into this guy who was from Israel, I believe, and he was telling me how he was traveling the world for about 9 months for a total cost of, I want to say it was $10,000 to $12,000. And that blew my mind, because what we were spending for that 1 week on vacation, he could literally travel for 2 months or more. And that just blew my mind. So I took that conversation and a few things that he taught me, and I started diving deep into the world of travel hacking.
So then we started traveling more and more, and our friends were looking at us like, how in the world are you affording to do this? And
that would usually turn into multi-hour conversations, kind of trying to send them down the road of travel hacking and explain it. It's not an easy thing to explain. It takes several hours to explain how to do this affordably. But that's what we're announcing today. I've spent the last several months putting together a course, and it just went live, and we are super excited to share it with you guys. So I know I've talked about this before, and a lot of you have already signed up to be notified, and I'm so sorry it's taken me months longer than I thought it would. It's just there was so much information to cram into this. We ended up having 40 chapters of information on how to travel affordably.
So we've been making YouTube videos for over 3 years now, and this is actually the first product that we've ever released for sale.
And I wanted that first product to be something of such tremendous value for you guys that it would pay for itself many times over the very first time you book your trip.
So for the last few years, we've been able to book multiple international flights for less than $10.
In fact, the last time we flew from the USA to Italy, we spent $22.40 for the entire family. That's $5.60 per person.
We've also been able to do things like charter a private boat all day island hopping, including a private chef, for $30.
That was just crazy to me. That was an incredible experience too.
Yes, it was. That's one of my favorite memories. We also got to stay in a castle for less than the cost of a Motel 6.
There are so many tricks that we've learned, such as taking advantage of geo-arbitrage, or my favorite, which is reverse engineering your flight path, which is how we were able to book flights from Ohio to Australia to meet up with our friends for $350 when those same exact flights were selling for $1,700.
So specifically on that trip, we were booking so last minute that the prices of the tickets were outrageous. So we used this specific travel hack to be able to get there really affordably.
And on that trip, to make that hack work, we actually got to spend a couple of nights in Hawaii completely for free using a different travel hack. But we also talk about all of the mistakes we made early on in traveling, and I think the biggest one was me believing at first that this wasn't even possible. So I had heard about travel hacking for years, and it just all seemed too good to be true, like stories of broke backpackers jet setting around the world on business class flights paying pennies on the dollar. And I just didn't believe it was true until we started really diving deep into it. And this has been the only way we've been able to afford the kind of experiences that you guys have seen on our channel over the last couple of years.
So the course is now live, and in the spirit of Black Friday, it's going to be 50% off this weekend.
The world of travel hacking is so bizarre. Most of the stories are completely unbelievable, especially the one where you can literally book a first class suite on an airplane. And you can book that for literally $95, which blows my mind. And I take you through this step-by-step process for how you can book that for yourself.
So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, there is a link in the description below, and you can even sign up to receive a preview of the course. So you can scroll through, watch some videos, and see what the course has to offer.
So one problem we have to solve is the amount of water that comes in this room.
So is all of this like darkness in the stone in the bottom, is that moisture coming in
Yeah.
from, oh my gosh, that's wet.
Yeah, it's super wet. I fully knew about this before we bought the house. It's not something that we have just discovered, but we're starting to kind of make a plan to how to fix it. So you can tell that up here it's like perfectly bone dry, but then down here it's quite wet, pretty much always. So this entire wall is about maybe 3 meters below ground, even up here where it's dry, but it's only down here at the deepest level that it actually gets wet. And thankfully in the entire house, this is really the only spot that gets wet. This is what's going to be our office area. So the plan is that we're going to build a wall here, but we're going to give it a lot more of an air gap that we are required to have, and use a special kind of insulation that can get wet and not be a problem. And then there's going to, this is going to be hard to explain, but there's going to be an air gap all the way down to the floor that runs underneath of the floor. And then we're going to have fans that are moving, the plan at least is to have fans moving through, kind of pulling the air over top of this wall, drying out the wall and eliminating the moisture. That's the best idea I have so far. If anyone else has an idea, let me know.
One thing we're working on this week is finalizing the floor plans of the inside of the house with the Geometra. And today we're going to kind of walk through the house and get a good sense of where we want everything to go so that we can send those plans back in and get them finalized.
Obviously the door is going to be on this side, but I kind of want it to be all the way over here, just have a little bit of a lip, and then you have the door. But what we have to decide is, do we then want to make some kind of built-in closet here?
I don't know.
If we did, I would want it to be as small as possible. Oh, but the only problem is this is the only wall we're allowed to have exposed in this room with stone.
Yeah, that's true.
So if we put the closet here, then it covers up
all the stone that we can have exposed. Ooh. This is really the most fun part about renovating a house like this. It's basically a blank canvas, and we get to just decide what we put in each room and how we're going to design the house. So we've always wanted to build a house from scratch, but I think this is even better because we have the stone, the historic element to it that's just so beautiful, and now we get to put our own design on it, and I am just I can't wait to see how it all turns out, and this is really getting me excited.
I think we're gonna build a wall pretty much on this line here.
How are you going to do that?
By building a wall. Walls are easy to build.
That's the least of our worries.
And then two things we have to decide. One, we have to put a wall here all the way up.
Yes.
Why?
I think I want that wall to be on this side, so that
You
this
have a
ledge is exposed over here, and then who knows? I mean, you can put things on it.
Put a plant there.
Yeah. The depth of the toilet room, as we'll call it, will be approximately 150 centimeters. Let's actually tape that out.
You knew it. Okay, so that's the shower.
Yep.
Oopsie, the shower.
Maybe
I'm staying in the shower.
other door ends up going here.
I thought you were gonna put it over here, but no, over there.
I would put it
Okay.
here because we can expose that wall to stone.
Oh yes.
So then I would
We
put
need
the
to have
bathtub
the-
against the
bathtub
stone wall.
over here for sure.
And
Bathtub
then
right
sink
here.
up against that wall.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
One of our problems is we have to figure out where we want to put a washer and dryer. I am not Italian enough to not have a dryer. I just can't do it. It's
Give her a
just,
year.
it's nope. I don't know how people do it in the winter. I just don't understand it. I haven't figured it out yet. We have a washing machine right now. We don't have a dryer. Tell me about the design of your room. What kind of elements do you want to add to your room?
I was thinking a bathtub.
You have a bathtub in your room? That'd be cool.
And a shower in my room too. I was thinking that we could have like from our beds we can have like our names written on above our beds.
Oh, that would be sweet.
And I would really like under the stairs. To be honest, it kind of looks like Harry Potter's bedroom.
It does.
But I was thinking we could turn it into a reading nook.
So one thing that we forgot to mention about the course is that if you do sign up over the next few days, not only do you get 50% off, but Bradey is also going to offer some one-on-one personalized training for points-based travel hacking. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check it out, and we'll see you guys next week.